We have an excellent and incredible person with us in the studio. We are connecting from Los Angeles to Chittoor District in Andhra Pradesh. So today's hero on our show is Kranti Rana Tata. He is the Superintendent of Police for the Chittoor District, and he has been doing an incredible job, which we'll be talking about in next half an hour to 45 minutes. So friends, if you would like to connect with him and ask any questions, the number to call is 323-410-0162. Sir, Kranti Rana Tata Garu, welcome to NRI Samay show.
Welcome, Andy. Welcome to all the audience.
Okay, thank you very much. I know you are busy man, and you agreed to come on the show with us. To begin with, sir, a personal question. So, can you tell our listeners about your maybe school days and how, at what point you decided that you should become an IPS, and what kind of motivates you in general?
I must say my father was also a civil servant. He was a deputy collector. So because of that, right from the beginning, there was a lot of awareness in the family with regard to civil services. And I had constant guidance from my parents since he was a civil servant himself. So I belong to the second generation that way of civil servants. I did my graduation in arts, and then I went on to do law and English literature. I got selected to IPS in the year 2004. And after that, I've been allocated AP cadre.
Okay, excellent. And your parents are also based in Andhra Pradesh?
Yeah, both. My father is from Kerala. My mother is from Kakinada.
Nice.
So both of them belong to AP.
Okay, excellent, sir. And from we have been following news, and do you have any special connection with children or the youth? Because we saw pictures of you in Khammam district at the school, which is run by the police, and also you were addressing at Suprabhatam the summer camp for the students, and then you were actually very strict on the e-teasing is what we have heard. So what is your connection with the kids and the youth?
When I was SP Khammam, there was a school which was run by the police department. It was a very good school. It has been running for quite some time, for the past 10-15 years. And off and on I would go to the school and then take classes myself, like English or social sciences and all that.
Oh, you taught
and
address them to the students?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And not only that, very often I do get invited to a lot of colleges, engineering, medical, and also intermediate colleges for their annual days and such functions. So it's always a pleasure to speak to youngsters because they have a lot of future ahead of them, and since I also, in a way I can relate to the youth because of there isn't much of age difference. So it was always nice. And I used to teach while I was preparing for civil services. I was a faculty myself at a couple of very reputed IAS study circles in Hyderabad. And before I started preparing for civils, I also would go to colleges and teach personality development. So teaching has always been one of my interests. So it gives me a lot of happiness to motivate young children or youngsters for that matter, because it really paints. It's very to see youngsters waste their time or not have a proper aim in life and then suffer subsequently in life is very heartening. It's very disheartening. So generally wherever I go, I make it a point to address youngsters and youth.
Yeah, talking about youth, and one of the problems is the e-teasing. So how, I mean, when we're talking about e-teasing, we are generally talking about very young kids or maybe college students. And when you encounter those things, how do you deal with such kind of issues? And in general, because it's not case by case, but you have to set up a culture across the district.
To be frank, of late, the instances of e-teasing have really come down because a couple of years back, Supreme Court has taken very adverse notice of e-teasing cases being reported in the country. What we do is before the start of every academic year, we hold meetings with all the in charges of college. We call them for a meeting, me and the collector. And there are certain guidelines. We bring a lot of awareness on that. What happens to a person if he gets involved in e-teasing, because we have to register the police case, and after that his entire future gets spoiled. He cannot get a passport, or he cannot get public or private employment. So, and even the management is also held responsible for not doing enough to prevent e-teasing. So that way, there are not many e-teasing cases being reported these days. I mean, maybe some cases may be there, some stray cases here and there, but it is not as much as it used to be before. So it has come fairly under control because of awareness created by the district administration, not only in Chittoor but also in many districts of the state.
Yeah, the only that the e-teasing has maybe the number of cases decreased, but we are seeing very often that girls are, especially by the people who say they are the lovers, and then they attack the girls, and in some cases they even kill them. So those kind of issues maybe increased over the last 2 years, at least what we see in the news. But maybe you're seeing the number of cases have decreased.
In a sense, there are certain cases where the boys have physically attacked the girls, and the girls have suffered injuries, and in some instances the girls have actually died. Like one instance happened in Warangal, where 3 youth threw acid on 2 girls, out of which one succumbed to injuries, and the other girl was seriously injured. And then there are many instances where these jilted lovers, they get into a very vengeful mood, and they want to take revenge, and they cause grievous hurt to girls. Such kinds of instances have happened, but those are not very frequent occurrences. Things do happen once in a while, but as such, it doesn't really come under the kind of ragging or e-teasing that we talked about. Ragging, definitely, yes, it's very much under control. And a lot of e-teasing also happens in RTC buses and also in autos. So it's pretty much under control. And we do have a women's helpline in Chittoor, and we have certain programs also which we conduct regularly for girl students. And if any such instance take place, we immediately they are brought to our notice, and we take necessary action.
Okay, wow, women's helpline. I think it's a very useful thing. If people know the number, so you are also publicizing the number and making sure they are aware that they should call to that number, especially in the case.
We do that.
Also. Because a lot of people.
Yeah, of course, we do that.
Yeah, the crime that is underreported is the Gruha Himsa, which is happens inside the family.
That comes under domestic violence. That comes under the Domestic Violence Act. But otherwise, we are basically there are a lot of women missing cases where young women they fall prey to people, and then they leave their home and they elope. That is one serious issue. And secondly, in a lot of things happen in RTC buses because of less number of buses and there are too many students.
Yeah.
So a lot of e-teasing happens there also. And as far as domestic violence is concerned, we have good acts in place. Like in IPC, we have 498A section, which is very strong. And we have Dowry Prevention Act 3 and 4, and so on and so forth. So basically, and in every district, we have a women police station, which we call as Mahila police station. So that also is very active. Otherwise, we take prompt action. As far as women-related issues are concerned, we pass on frequent instructions to the police officials to take speedy action, like registering a case and then arresting the accused and then charge sheeting the case. So like that we do that. We also do a lot of counseling to couples, and only when the counseling fails, we register cases.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's incredible. But just to touch on the point I raised earlier, even the domestic violence happens. If they come to the police station, then of course you take strict action. But in most of the cases, I would say more than 50% of the cases, they don't even report to the police because it just they accept it and keeps on happening on a regular basis, like grown-up son hitting his mom or husband hitting his wife, these kind of things. So I think, do you think there should be more awareness that they can go to there's a helpline and they can call the police, and after that they can take care of it? Do you think more awareness is needed?
There's already a lot of awareness which we have created because of media, electronic and print, and the helpline we have is like 1091, which we give a lot of publicity. And then we have a 100 number, which is a police control room number. Then every week, 1 hour a week, we have this daily rescue program where people call up from all parts of the district, and they call up where I actually answer in person to all the calls. We've been running this program for the past 1 year, which is 52 weeks. So far, we have handled almost 1,600 cases, and out of which 350 belong to women harassment at home. So there are enough channels for a woman to come and report any harassment faced by her due to her husband or husband's family. We have a good system in place, and there's a lot of awareness also which is created. So we have a very high incidence of ladies reporting harassment cases, and we take speedy action.
Okay, that is incredible. We have in the studio Tinku. He is from Tirupati. Tinku, you would like to ask some questions to SP Garu?
Yes, sir. Good evening, SP Garu.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening, sir. I am Shrikant.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, I am Shrikant. Sir, I have a small question
Shrikant,
for
tell
you.
me, I can hear you.
Yeah. Many smugglers had caught by you. Then how did you face the pressure from the politicians? How did you overcome that, sir?
To be very frank, there is no pressure from politicians because nobody supports smuggling. Actually, the state government is very keen that smuggling should be controlled, and even Honorable Chief Minister is also very keen that this thing should come to a stop. So there is no pressure. Frankly speaking, there is no pressure from any politicians whatsoever whenever we catch any smugglers.
Okay, sir. In the recent days, people mainly, in Tada, near Nellore district, sir, in the recent days, people mainly ladies are more feared about the psycho. Just 3 days before, 3 ladies had died in the hands of these cold-blooded murder. Very disgustingly and very badly. People are suffering from this behalf of on this case. When will you, those murdered will be arrested? How could you give protection to the people from them?
This incident happened in Nellore district, which as per General Commander Chittoor.
Yes.
But it does fall on, it is close to border of Chittoor. So one of the information that we had was that this person this maybe he is psychologically ill or he may be having some such problem, has come towards, has entered into Chittoor district. So what we have done is, for the past 2 days, we have been doing extensive combing in the area. We have also pressed a dog squad into operation. And we have been extensively touring the area also and telling people and making them aware of this incident and telling people to be alert. But but we've also told them to not to panic or anything and believe rumors or any such thing. We have done whatever we could do to bring awareness, but frankly speaking, it's a very stray and random incident in which one unknown person killed 3 men, not women. He actually killed 3 men in the early in the morning, a couple of days back. So it's a very stray incident. I mean, it's very difficult to make any sense of it. It has no rhyme or reason as to why it happened. It's a very unfortunate incident. Only when we catch the culprit will we know what exactly has happened. And secondly, what happened was that this bus, it did not stop in Tada after the incident happened. It went to Chennai because the bus was bound for Chennai. It went to Tamil Nadu, and then the incident was reported at 7 o'clock. That is after 3 hours after the incident happened. So by which time almost all the passengers, they alighted from the bus, and it became very difficult for the police to get them back together and register, write down their statements and then start investigation. So as of today, we actually don't know who this person is because nobody is able to give a proper description of him. We try to get his sketch also drawn, but nobody is giving a proper description of it. It will take some time, but I'm sure sooner or later, because already there are many teams which are working on it. Some teams have gone to Tamil Nadu, some teams have gone to Bhadrachalam, the place where the bus has started, and some teams have gone to Vijayawada also. We are making our attempts, and let's see. Maybe in a couple of days' time, we should be able to catch him.
Okay, sir. Hello? And this is that, sir, excuse me, sir. I have one question for you. One more question.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
these days, normal man in a society. These days, normal man in a society is not getting justice in the presence of police. There are a lot of pyrovies going on. So, how can you prevent that, sir?
Recently, there has been a study which was conducted. It seems that 90% of the people who talk about police department are the ones who have never visited a police station. And
yes.
The 10%, what I mean to say, 90% of people who have never visited a police station, they have a very wrong notion about how the police functions and what happens in a police station and all that. And the rest who actually have visited a police station and interacted with police don't have such kind of a negative opinion about the department. You see, basically, it's not always like that. Maybe there are some cases where certain things happen, but to the extent possible, I'm not saying like we are 100% successful and all that. Yes, some kind of external influence is definitely there in the working of the department, but we ensure that a common man, in the sense a poor man or a helpless person,
yes.
a person in need, gets justice. See, the easiest way in which we can give justice is to listen to him and then register a case if it's a cognizable one, or if it's not a cognizable section. Cognizable in the sense, if it's not a criminal matter, we can at least tell him how to resolve his issue, because there are many land disputes or property disputes or family disputes, so which cannot be always resolved in a police station. So at least we can guide him, like you can go to a MRO, or you can approach the collector, or if you should go to a surveyor, or you should go to so-and-so department and all that. We try to do our level best. And one important thing which we should remember is, of late, the profile of police in AP has also become quite young. there are many new recruits who are very, very well educated, who are engineers and postgraduate degree holders. Even the constabulary is very well educated these days, unlike the olden days. So there are a lot of new and young fresh blood that is coming in. And gone are the days when, we still don't have that British hangover, or we don't carry that British legacy, where police was seen as an oppressive arm and all that. So things are definitely changing for good, and AP Police is actually known for its professionalism throughout the country. Andhra Pradesh Police is known for its professionalism and its its being effectiveness and all that.
Okay, excellent, sir. We have a caller. Can you tell your name, location, and ask your question, please?
Yeah, my name is Sindhu. I'm calling from Los Angeles, Andy. Hi, Andy. Kranti Garu, you're such an inspirational person. I'm hearing in your interview that you are doing a radio program on Dial Your SP, right? So I just wanted to know, why can't you plan some program like in a TV through visual media, which is more effective? And the media always shows the darker side of it, like someone has these murders and all. So why don't you plan a program in local channels, which shows the other side of it, how you are helping people and all that, something like that? Because I felt that visually it is more appealing to the people rather than hearing. So your take on that? Are you planning something like that?
Yes, ma'am. Visually, it's more effective that way. As of now, we have not yet started that. But this program, this daily recipe program, we conduct it in the presence of media. So it actually, in the evening, it gets telecast in the local channels. It does go to people. But like how we said, actually this suggestion did come that we should conduct this program on FM radio, one, and number two, and also like how we said, through visual medium, through the local TV cable network. It's a good idea. Maybe if possible, we'll try to start it in time to come.
Okay, thank you, Sindhu. You want to ask anything else?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, SP, sir. Students are mainly getting addicted to easy money. They are looking at many ways to earn easy money. I think black money is the main element for them. Nowadays, college students are some crores, I think some lakhs in Madanapalli have caught some more than 15 lakhs of black money. So, and cocaine also in one college. So how could you overcome these problems from students?
That incident in Madanpalli, which happened quite some time back, with actually counterfeit currency. Yes. No students were involved in that. He was actually an employee working in a registration department. But that's as far as that incident is concerned. And secondly, a lot of youth are getting into chain snatching. They get addicted to various vices, and in order to finance that, they do chain snatching and commit small thefts here and there. This problem is always there. We try to generally try to counsel them. I mean, if they are caught, they have to get booked under the relevant sections of law. Now, we do counsel them. We do call their parents and tell them. But it all depends. See, we cannot try and control each and every single person. There are certain people, out of thousands, there are 3-4 people who are prone to criminal behavior, and they'll just have to pay the price for that, because we cannot really monitor each and every individual. It's very difficult.
Okay, we have another caller. Sir, please tell your name, location, and ask your question.
Kranti Garu, this is Srikant from Los Angeles, Andy. Sir, I've been hearing your radio, the show, from past few minutes. And I think NRS Samay has created a lot of interest regarding this show. I'm proud to see a police officer coming online and then answering all the questions. My question is, in the United States, the citizen and police participation is super good, and they jive together, they gel together, and then they give a feel that as long as a citizen is doing a mistake, the police wouldn't interfere. So a sense of police and citizen, and the domestic situation in India and in the United States is different. I don't want to compare these environments, but I'm saying what kind of programs would Kranti Garu and his team design to create this citizen participation and repose the citizen faith in the police department? Indaka avadu cheppinattu, indaka caller cheppinattu, you're doing radio program and vinnanu, which is incredible. And then pratisari media is all about sensationalism. Vaadu gontu kosadu, veedu adi chesadu, vaadu idi chesadu, ade cheptunnaru tappite police on the other side, people like you are doing incredible job in protecting the citizens. Our message visual gaane ellali sir. Adi radio lo video lo eltunte local citizens might participate, but ఇక్కడ అసలు దే రన్ ఎ ఛానల్ కాల్డ్ కాప్స్ అనే ఛానల్లో ఒక కాప్ క్రిమినల్ ని ఏ రకంగా వంగ తీశాడు, హౌ డిడ్ ద బెండ్ హిమ్ డౌన్ అనేది చూపిస్తుంటారు అనమాట. అట్లా ఆవిడ సజెషన్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో ఎగ్జాంపులరీ సజెషన్. అలానే నా క్వశ్చన్ టు యూ ఇస్, హౌ కుడ్ యూ రీపోజ్ ఫెయిత్ బై హ్యావింగ్ సిటిజన్ పార్టిసిపేషన్, అండ్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద స్టెప్స్ యూ ఆర్ టేకింగ్ టు ఇన్వాల్వ్ సిటిజన్స్ అండ్ రీపోజ్ ద ఫెయిత్ ఇన్ పోలీస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్?
Yeah, it's a good question. We started a program called Palle Mitra. It's basically a program where SI, CI and DSP rank officers, they go visit villages and stay in the villages for the night. And they interact with the people there, like old people or socially backward sections and children and all that. And they also try to address the local disputes, like land disputes or family disputes, so that they don't become grave in nature in future. So that's one thing that we do, which has been running quite successfully. We have covered almost 600 villages now. That's number one. Number two, previously, though it's not there now it's not in practice, we had what is called Maitri associations. These were the associations which were formed by the police, consisting of local citizens. And the local police station would form an association of the local citizens, and together they would address certain issues like conducting night beats or religious harmony during Ganesh and Ramzan, or small family disputes, or some e-teasing cases or something like that. It basically runs on the premise that every citizen is a policeman without uniform. So it ran quite well, but presently it's not. Only in some places it is happening. Mostly based on the initiative of the local officers. It's a good program when it ran. Even now it's running well in some places. Otherwise, we do take a lot of citizen participation. We do it, but then again, at the end of the day, we have to do our job. We cannot involve too much of public involvement. Is also not that good, because not everything is fair. We live in a very different environment, so people come get close to police, and there are a lot of other interests also. So that's the other side of it.
Right.
So it's a program which has to be done very carefully.
Right, it's a challenge.
Hello?
They claim that we are very close to the police, and then they might do other things. It's definitely that mutual trust building.
It actually happened in many places. So, pardon me?
Okay. Yeah, I understand that it's a huge challenge, because people do claim that we are closer to the police, and then they might end up doing other things which is not in the interest of public. So yeah, you're right.
Okay, Kranti Garu, this is Srihari again. So of course, part of the job, part of your job, especially as an SP of district, would be to understand the people and their problems. So in that perspective, what are the main problems of the people in Chittoor district, sir?
Well, the main problem, I mean, we have to analyze it from different perspectives, not just in Chittoor, as a matter of fact, in the state of Andhra Pradesh or in India also. As you all know, there is a lot of poverty, which everybody knows, and a lot of unemployment, and not much of literacy is a problem, and even the ones that are educated, they are not employable. That's another problem. And I cannot really comment on government policies and all that. But the basic problem here is there is not much of economic activity happening. Economic, by what I mean is, we don't have many industries coming up. We don't have productivity increasing. We don't have any creation of wealth. That's the basic problem. There is no creation of wealth, but at the same time, there is more and more money pumped into the system, leading to inflation. So, which is leading to less number of goods and more amount of money. That's number one. And number two, there is a lot of pressure on resources like water, soil fertility, and land. There's a lot of pressure. And unless we address these problems in a very holistic way with a lot of statesmanship and with a lot of foresight, like we need to plan at least for the next 30 to 40 years, and then make a lot of sacrifices now so that our next generations would have a really, would have a really good life, qualitative standard of living. It's actually, I'm not the person competent to answer it, but those are the general problems. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that is a very good thought, especially the way you said it might take 30 years. It definitely needs a long-term vision and more coordination between the people and the government services and politicians. Sir, you have seen both organized crime and day-to-day life crime. So how different is the organized crime from everything else?
Organized crime, for example, we have this red sandals issue. Red sandals is, we find it only in the Seshachalam forest of Andhra Pradesh. There are a lot of smuggling going on, in the sense of a lot of red sandals. It's actually a red sandal wood, which is also called red sandal. So a lot of it goes to China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. What happens is, in an organized crime, there's a lot of money involved, and there are different levels of people who do different kinds of work. And one level wouldn't know what the other level is doing. So each level works independently, but at a certain level, they're all connected. And as I said, there's a lot of money involved, and the people are very powerful because they earn money through smuggling, and they legitimize it. They legitimize it by getting into different other walks of life. So, and they also get a lot of support from the system, and it's a big group. As a group, they operate. So even when you go catch somebody, immediately we have cases filed in High Court, Supreme Court, and human rights and all that. And a lot of pressure also is brought on the department. So we take a lot of coordination among the concerned departments to tackle organized crime, and even the law needs to be very strict. Like we have this coffee posa is one act, and we have this preventive detention thing secondly, and we have some very good acts, but these are not so easy to implement also because the crime is very big, and the crime is not evident. It's not like one fellow going and hitting another person and immediately we reach the case. It's not like that. A lot of economics are involved, and a lot of legal procedures, legal hassles are involved. So that's how organized crime works, and moreover, it's across the state borders and across the country borders. So it is international and interstate, and it has many levels, like how I said. So to catch the top person, that's the top of the pyramid, is very difficult because at each level, like I said, operates on its own. One level does not lead to another level, like how it normally happens in ordinary cases.
Yeah,
So,
okay, that's
I hope
very,
I have made myself clear. It's not so difficult, easy to explain it.
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about this, but I have a listener who is asking on our nrisamay.com chat. His name is Akshay from Florida. His question is, what kind of protection that a whistleblower can expect from police as a right? And not only in Chittoor, but in general, he's asking if somebody calls you and says, hey, this guy is doing this, so what is the protection?
The best way to protect a whistleblower is to protect his anonymity. So generally we wouldn't reveal his particulars to any person. We just keep it to ourselves.
I see. But when the case goes to the court, at that point, do you think it's revealed?
No, it's not revealed. I mean, any person give information, his details are not revealed. Even under the Right to Information Act, we don't have to reveal the name of the informant.
Oh.
So that's how it is.
Okay.
Yeah, if the case goes to court, there are other pieces of evidence which are adduced.
Right. So we are talking about Red Sanders issue. In July of last year, a forest officer was killed. So how serious is this problem, and how powerful are these people? Because if they can kill a forest officer, that's like really bad.
Yeah, that incident happened in Tirupati Urban Police District, which is policing-wise, it's a different district. It happened when a forest guard was trying to stop a vehicle, unidentified vehicle, and it hit him and he died and he succumbed to the injuries. It's very unfortunate. So far, the actual perpetrator has not been caught. But having said that, this is a very big problem. This red sandal smuggling has been happening for the past 15 to 20 years. And much of it and a lot of it gets smuggled to Southeast Asia, China, and Japan, where it is used for making medicines and ornamental furniture and musical instruments, so on and so forth. And most of the kingpins are in Chennai, and most of the Dodons are in Tamil Nadu. And even now, most of the labor also comes from Tamil Nadu. So we have undertaken a huge drive over the past 1.5 year. We have booked more cases than the total number of cases booked from 2001 to 2010. So that's the progress we have made, and together we and the Forest Department, we are trying a level best. So of late, just a week back, we have had a meeting. What we decided is that there are 4 ways in which this problem needs to be addressed. The first is the basic cutting of trees needs to be prevented, because a lot of the labor comes in and then they cut the trees, they transport it outside, and as on today, we are catching only when they are being transported. We are not actually preventing the felling of trees. So what we have decided is that we will do combing of the area. It's not a very big area. It's a reasonably manageable patch of forest. So we decided that we would do continuous combing of the area to prevent cutting of trees. And secondly, most of the labor comes from Chennai. Not Chennai, comes from Tamil Nadu, the states of Tiruvallur and Tiruvannamalai and also Vellore. So we have not yet started, but very shortly we'll be sending teams consisting of police and forest to bring to conduct meetings in those villages and bring awareness among the people and the police and forest departments there in Tamil Nadu that they should not come to the Seshachalam Hills and cut these trees. That is second. And third, we have also conducted many raids in Chennai, particularly there are areas like Red Hills in Chennai where you have this large number of these smugglers who actually finance the cutting of trees and their transportation and who export them abroad. So we have got quite a few of them. And for this, they have also taken the help of Tamil Nadu Police Department. But having said that, a lot of awareness needs to be created in the state of Tamil Nadu because the forest and the police department there, they are not aware of the magnitude of the problem. Because this is an endangered species only in AP. When it goes to Tamil Nadu, it becomes just like any other piece of wood. So we're trying to bring that kind of awareness.
I see. That's a very good thing. And you talked about combing the forest area. So a lot of coordination requires between forest officials and police. Is that right?
Yeah, we are doing it because we have regular meetings with the forest department, and we keep our force. That is, we have the special party constables consisting of youngsters who are physically fit and we are trying to move in forest areas. We keep them at the disposal of the forest officers, and we do continuous checking and we liaison with the forest department and conduct joint raids in Tamil Nadu. We do that, but I'm sure because like how I said before, we have started this combing and prevention of cutting of trees and then going and nabbing the kingpins in Tamil Nadu. So I'm sure by the end of this year, we should be, if not 100%, at least 80 to 90%, I'm sure we will be able to stop this smuggling. I'm very much hopeful of that.
Okay, sir, we have a listener who would like to ask a question on the radio. Vijay Garu, you want to go ahead? Please tell where you are from and ask your question.
Sure. Hello, sir. Rana Garu, this is Dr. Vijaya Kesari. I'm calling from Orange County, California. Yes, and we are so proud of the work you are doing back home in India, and we need more police officers like you. We are so happy for what you're doing. And I'm honored.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm honored to speak to you today because of NRI Samay. Thanks to NRI Samay. And I have a question, sir. For the last year, you have been transferred from Khammam to Chittoor right now due to political pressure because of your sincerity and work. So, for the work you're doing in Chittoor right now, arresting the smugglers and all that, so there is a possibility again that government decides to transfer you back in some other rural areas, right? So if a officer is sincere and working hard to arrest the criminals, this is I mean, we are seeing this forever. This is going on, and this is the truth that government doesn't want them to be in one place, fixed place, and try to do their work, and they never allow that. So how does that go, since you are doing all this with great effort and hard work, and we all know that we are seeing with eyes, and what if they decide again this year or next year again to transfer you from Chittoor and some area where you can't even do anything much?
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for your kind words. But then again, because transfers are a regular feature in our career, that's number one. Number two is, in AP at least, there's a very good professional policing at the headquarters, because we have a certain system in place in the state of Andhra Pradesh. There are certain states like UP, Bihar, where every 2-3 months, an officer gets transferred. Unlike that, in AP we do have a proper system in practice, and there is certain security of tenure also. Usually, a person is SP for about 1.5 to 2.5 years, and if he gets transferred, he'll get transferred because of various reasons, not just political pressure. And coming to talk of political pressure also, it is not really as bad as it is made out to be. Even if there is a pressure from some quarters, if we as officers, if we are clear and if we have sufficient knowledge, sufficient information of that particular event about which there is pressure, then, and if you can explain it in a proper manner that this is right and this is wrong, and doing like this would bring a lot of bad name to the government or to the concerned person or whatever, people generally are they're accommodative. Not accommodative in the sense they understand. It all depends on a person.
You were there in Khammam last year, and within a year you got transferred. The reason I'm asking this is when people start their trust on a police officer where they can trust them, like, we have somebody to take care of the issues going in the society, and suddenly you are gone from place to place. They have no one. So basically people are losing the trust in the system.
It's not exactly like that, ma'am. Because Chittoor is a very important district too. It's almost as big as Khammam, and it's in a way it's a little more challenging in the district of Chittoor that way. Khammam is a different state, ma'am. Khammam, the main issues of policing in Khammam are different because it has got the 270-kilometer border with Chhattisgarh and Orissa. There's a lot of Naxal activity on the other side of the border. And I was in Khammam for almost 2 years. I was additional SP there, additional SP operations, and after that I was SP for 15 months. So I did spend quite some time in Khammam. And transfers do happen because of various reasons, ma'am, in the sense, yeah. So it doesn't actually happen like that.
Sure.
Pardon
so what are your future plans? Are you going to focus on only these death and criminals or any other issues which are major in the society?
There is another issue, ma'am, which we have taken up very seriously because in Chittoor, we have very high incidence of road accidents because we have got 6 national highways running for almost 650 kilometers. So every month there are at least 40 to 50 deaths due to road accidents. So we have started a lot of new initiatives to control it. We have stopped selling of liquor on the roadside dhabas. Then we have put up a lot of signages, like how, because here in India we don't, I've seen abroad, I've traveled in Europe and Australia. I've seen there we have a lot of signage showing that a certain road is dangerous. It has reported a lot of fatalities, or it has the speed limits, stating speed limits, and we have these speed guns and cameras and all that thing. So because of which there is a lot of discipline on the road, like not crossing the lane or maintaining driving the speed limits and all that. Unlike developed countries, in India we don't have any such thing. We just have the road and people just drive at their will. The problem in India is here vehicles go very fast, but they don't stop. You can't stop vehicles in India. They just keep going on and on. So what we have done is we have set up a lot of signage. We set up a lot of signage that school zones and turnings and the speed limit boards and all that. And we have also got 2 laser speed guns with which we are imposing fines and all that. So and secondly we have also made it compulsory for motorcyclists to wear helmets when they are driving on the national highways. So, and we do a lot of checkings and all that, and stop overloading of autos and all that. We do a lot as far as traffic accidents are concerned, because of which, though we are not very successful because of a lot of traffic on the road, but in the year 2011, we were able to reduce the incidence of traffic accidents from the previous 2 years. Which is pretty good because every year we have this increase in vehicular traffic. This number one. This thing we have taken up very seriously because a lot of people get killed on the roads. So this thing we have taken up very seriously to reduce the speed of vehicles and to control accidents.
Sure, sir. Thanks so much, and I wish that every district has another Rana, and we are so proud of you from US as well.
Right, thank you, Vijay Garu. So, sir, Kranti Garu, you said that you have booked as many cases as in 1 year as it was in last 10 years about red sanders.
Yeah.
So what is the difference in the way you handled from your predecessors?
Basically, what we do is, initially there was not much awareness initially among the police personnel. Usually the thinking was that this is a forest-related issue, so police doesn't have much role to play in this. So I told my officers, everyone, that this red sanders is a national wealth of our country, which is exclusive to the state of Andhra Pradesh and that too to the district of Chittoor. And to see this getting cut and being sent to country, for example, like China or Japan, is nothing can be worse than that. You have your national wealth being cut down by smugglers and going abroad, and things are made out of it, like luxury items are made abroad of your national wealth is something that is unforgivable. And fortunately, in Chittoor, we have good and strong and effective police force, which is very young in profile. So I motivated all the SIs and told them that this is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to control this menace, and this is something we can do. It's not something which is beyond our capacity, and we cannot do. It is something which we can do, provided we have that conviction and that interest, and we sustain that effort. So what we have done is I have told them time and again in meetings and oversight conferences and all that. And I've given them certain targets that in this month they are supposed to do this kind of work and all that. And we have also rewarded a lot of officers and men who have done good work. And we have brought a lot of awareness in the neighboring police districts also, like Anantapur, Kadapa, and Nellore. Previously, nobody would bother to catch red sander, but of late it has become a kind of good work, a kind of achievement to catch red sander smuggling. And not only that, we have also helped the forest department because they have very less force, and the area they have to patrol is very big. So we help them a lot. So at the cost of our own work, because the moment we start concentrating on red sanders, a lot of our other activity gets disturbed, like traffic, or law and order, or VIP security, or even crime work, property recovery. They all suffer. But still, we have done it because this is something I thought we should definitely do, and this is something we can do also.
Right, that's very good, sir.
And we have done well because now there is a lot of awareness, both in police department, in forest, in other states, and there is a lot of awareness on this issue in the government itself. Now it is discussed more frequently.
Yes, awareness is definitely there. We have seen news time and again coming from Chittoor district about the red sanders and the work we have done. Touching base on what Vijay Garu was asking, just to give a specific example, maybe it doesn't work in other cases, but we have seen how powerful ACB has become in last 1.5 years or so. In the case of liquor syndicate, I mean, it's almost, ACP was not heard of for many years before that, but suddenly it has become so much powerful because of the people in place like Srinivas Reddy Garu and others. So, to the point what Vijay Garu was saying, by the time everybody thought, okay, this is incredible, this is actually getting somewhere, and then there is so much political pressure from all parties on the government to transfer these incredible people. At least that's been the perspective, and which happened, he was sent to a different department. So, is this just a very rare case, or do you think, what is your thoughts on this specific case, sir?
You should really excuse me on this. I cannot really comment on this.
Yeah, I know.
I can't really comment on this.
Okay, that's fine. We just need to make that point. Then, and about the organized crime, you were talking how difficult it is, and you were also talking about the law which is in place. What are the recommendations that you are making which will make it more effective to catch these organized criminals?
As far as this red sanders is concerned, the present Forest Act is very weak, because it's, I think, Section 25 of Forest Act. It imposes only less than 1 year of imprisonment, because of which it becomes a bailable case. That is, a person would get bail very easily within 1-2 days. So, and because since the punishment is only less than 1 year, it doesn't come under organized crime, control of organized crime. So we have written letters to the government and legal department that the punishment for red sander smuggling needs to be enhanced to 3 and more than 3 years, so that any person involving for more than 3 or 4 such offences would get booked under organized crime. In organized crime, what happens is it's very difficult for a person to get bail. A person is under judicial custody for more than 180 days. So that's one concrete suggestion that we have made.
Okay, that is excellent, sir. We're at the top of the hour. So, is there anything else you would like to tell, sir, before we wrap up the show for today?
Nothing much. I'm very glad that you have given me this opportunity. It's very motivating for officers that whatever good work we do, whatever work we do in by way of discharging our duty gets recognized, and we get to speak to audience across the world. It's very nice, and it helps us to perform better in times to come. And
sir, it is our honor to talk with you, and we will try to bring